And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that lovely brutal OC as we've returned. We have returned with our second semifinals of the broadcast. Here we go. We just wrapped up with our PvP between Hero and MaxFax. MaxFax did make it to the grand finals, but now we're jumping into our TvZ to find out who will face off against MaxFax in those finals. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Sandworm, we have our French Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Sandworm, we have our red Zerg player. We have a red Zerg from South Korea representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. And if you're in the chat, predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our Terran versus Zerg. Here we go. And again, Solar, he has been on his redemption arc. Solar, over the past couple of weeks, he has been getting some very strong results. It's been amazing to see the rise of Solar and the growth of Solar. But I'll be honest, I haven't seen much of his TvZ. I mean, obviously we casted Solar against Bjorn, and Solar has been looking very dominant over Bjorn, but I did not see the games between Solar and Clem. Like Solar versus Clem, they did face off a couple of weeks ago in the Monday Night Weeklies, and Solar did bring Clem down. I'm curious as to how that series unfolded, and I'm hoping to catch a glimpse of it here. Here we go, as we have our best of three. We have a best of three. Get your gamble going. Predictions are open. Oh, as it looks like we do have a bit of a pause. Hopefully everything is okay. Looks like there is some latency issues going on. Looks like they, looks like there was some issues earlier, and there was maybe some ping issues in the previous series. But yeah, I can say everything's looking fine on my end. Also, I didn't cast Solar versus Skilless Smoge. Yeah. We'll see. We shall see. I mean, oh, as we're jumping in. We're jumping back in. But hopefully everything's okay. I mean, we have, I think it was last week we did lag out. It's true, we did disconnect from BattleNet at that one time. But everything's been fine so far today. Fingers crossed. Could be a player, could be a caster. But hopefully it doesn't impact the players too much here. So if I was settling in, could be settling in. So far, so good. So Hatch gets full here out of Solar. Meanwhile, just Rax expand by Clem. Sorry, just a little bit. It's always one of those things where you don't want to be the one causing any issues to the players, and of course if we are, then we'll leave. Of course, all good. Happy to tap out if lag spikes are occurring. Now though, we do have Clem poking in towards that natural. Solar, he does defend, taking his third expansion. And welcome one to Sandworm. Right, I should also introduce the map itself. Sandworm is one of the smaller maps, has a short rush distance by ground, so is known for a little bit more aggression. I say that has some unique features, specifically the Dragon's Teeth. The cones here in the center, they can make some engagements in the center of the map a little bit more awkward. More importantly, this also does add to the defense of the gold base. There's a gold base in the center of the map, which is meant to be exposed, but I would say is relatively easy to defend, just because of the Dragon's Teeth, the terrain, the rocks as well. We have seen many a player take and successfully hold on to the goal base. So we'll see who is the first to take that expansion. Clem poking in. Likewise, typically when it comes to these smaller maps, Terran players are favored just because they're able to hit their timings that much faster and that much harder. So I'm curious to see if Solo opens up Roach. Roach-based play is usually more standard on smaller maps, just because you're able to be a little bit more larva efficient and pull off those early game defenses. So we'll see if Solo does embrace that Roach Warren or if he goes somewhere else and goes into Lingbane. At this point, if it was roaches, we would have seen a Warren by now. Solar joining up, saturating his third base. Back at home, it's going to be a third TC into Starport out of Clem, economic opener into Hellion Banshee. And the goal for Clem is to just poke in, is to deny creep, and to set up for the eventual bio timing at 7 minutes. So Clem just poking and prodding. If he can find an opening, then he'll go for it. Otherwise, denying creep is all he needs to do. It's up to Solar to dance with these Hellions to keep his creep as, just keep it as healthy as possible. So Clem is rotating. Clem is rotating. Solar so far keeping up. I will say that the attack paths are a little bit more limited here, so Solar is having an easier time keeping up with these rotations. Is going to be Lair first. Okay. Lair first out of Solar, Lair into Double Evo Chamber, into Baneling Nest. This is going to be a little bit greedier here by Solar. Oh, my apologies. It is going to be Roach. Okay. If you remember, we did assume, or we did bring up potential Roach play on Sandworm just because of the size of the map. Maps like Sandworm, maps like Whispers of Gold as well, are maps where we do often see more Roach play. Just to re-emphasize, it is typically because of the size of the map. Just because roaches are typically a safer way to play. Meanwhile, Clem, we spoke about the gold base, is rushing into the gold. Taking the gold as his third. We did mention before that, again, this third base is quite, or this gold base is quite defendable. It's quite defendable here. So what's terrifying is that this can give Clem a boosted economy, and we spoke about his 7-minute timing. Now suddenly with the gold base, he can go for an ARAX. He can go for an ARAX and make that ARAX is going to hit like a truck if he goes for it. So we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves. For now, takes the gold, gains map control, moving out with his Hellion Banshee. For the time being, we have a 5-rack setup, and we'll see if he throws down more. Meanwhile, Solar building up his roaches. Getting into plus on melee, this tells us that it's going to be Lingbane Roach Ravager. It is not purely Roach Ravager into Hydra. The roaches are just supportive units. Just to morph into Ravagers to defend. Solar, he intends to tech up. Speaking of teching, yep, there it is. Gonna be the infestation bits. So, as the Hellions, they find an opening. They find a way in. They bust into the mineral line. Drone's gonna be going down. Lings is trying to keep up. And Clem is going for the drones. Yeah, he ignores the Lings. Workers getting roasted. And this is getting out of hand. This is getting out of hand already. Gonna be 12 drone kills. Can he get one more volley up? Barely. Nobody gets 14. 14 workers go down. Banshees, they're on the expansion. They should be transfused. They should be able to keep the base alive. It's going to be close, though. Yeah, there's a transfuse. Fourth base does survive. And you can see here, gases. Gases are being taken. So this tells us it's not an all-in. Clem, he's not going for the all-in. He's taking gases. With this, he can afford a second factory. An armory, getting into the mid-game. Still being aggressive, don't get me wrong, but not going all-in. Gets 2 roaches. Takes down a couple of roaches. Keeping Solar busy. Now, I think what I was about to get into before the Hellion dive, Solar, he's going Roach Ravager Lingbane into Ultra Tech. That's typically how this build does unfold, getting to Hive, getting to fast Ultras. Obviously, the downside of opening up Roach is that the upgrade is going to be delayed, so they're not going to have they're not going to be the best upgraded Ultras. Meanwhile, 3 Queens get caught out. Oh my god! He gets 3 Queens. Nice pick off by Clem. Takes down 3 Queens. Banshees, they hit the 4th base once again. Solar is trying to keep up. Solar stuck redroning, resaturating. 4th CC on the way for Clem. Hive is about to finish. And we are looking and waiting for that tech. As we mentioned, there is that Ultra Cavern. So because of the Roach opener, these Ultras, it's going to take a little bit longer for the upgrades to really kick into high gear. Just now getting into 2-2. And here comes the push. Here comes the actual move out. This entire time Clem has been harassing, but now it's time to push with his main army. He's got 1-1. He's got 2 tanks behind this. Army sims in. This goal base is going to fall. There's no expanding. And there's a cancel. Goal base is going to go down. From here, Clem rotates, and that fourth is still very low from earlier. The ramp is coming into play. Plenty of Ling Bane. But ideally, Solo wants to come in from a different angle. Tanks, they cover that flank. Clem pushing forward. And Solo gonna try to break through. Not gonna be a pretty trade here. Takes out one tank. Now going for a counterattack, going for a run by. Them gaining more ground. Does move in. Bailing's on the way. Last Solo, he does not catch reinforcements. Clem has plenty back at home, and Clem, he's doing it. He's breaking through. Takes down most of the Ling Bane, getting on top of the roaches. Oh, here come the Vipers, though. The Vipers, they can help support. Decent Baneling connections. But he tries to force his way down the ramp. It's not going to happen. One tank goes down. And Clem, just keeps rallying. He just keeps rallying in. Ultras are revealed. They're 1-1 Ultras. They do not have kindness waiting. So again, these Ultras are more fragile than usual. Oh god, has he... Yeah, the Ultras, they melt. The Ultras go down one after the other. No upgrades on the Ultras. Nice Blinding Clouds, though. Very nice. Blinding Clouds, they pop up, and with that Solar, he's holding. Whew. He's barely holding on. Again, he Blinding Clouded everything. That was, what, 6 tanks going down? And now, hey, these Ultras, they have 2-2. They have 2-2 and kindness waning. Better upgrades for Solar. 3-3 just now beginning here for Clem. Whew, okay, we have a game. we have a game. It was a tough hold there for Solar, but he did hold on. Did survive. It takes the gold base, takes the expansion. Clem, the pressure is on. He has to keep going. Gets a queen. Gets the queen, drops into the main base. Going for another. And that's controlled by Clem. They'll split up. Splits against the power bombs. Ultras, oh, they cannot engage. Oh, the cones. The cones tie him up. Nice Biles, though. Biles, they take down 3 tanks. Oh god, oh god. Yes, those Ultras, they cannot push into this. It's not going to happen. Not like this. Clem, he holds the line. And we have a back and forth. We have a back and forth. Solar, now he gets the gold base. He has a decent economy. He's maxed out. Soon starting up 3-3. Going for an Ultra run by. It has to back off. Then likewise, moving out. Doesn't quite commit in. Clem is just building up his ghosts. Ghosts are on the way. Tanks. More CCs. There's going to be a window in time here where he has 3-3 over his opponent. 3-3 is a little bit more delayed here for Solar. And the one thing that Solar's lacking here is anti-air. That's where the Spire comes into play. Should be for Corruptors. So Corruptors on the horizon here for Solar. As Clem is just fortifying himself, building up. Holding off the center. The gold base is almost mined out. We'll need another expansion. And that's where the size of the map comes into play. There's honestly not that many bases. There's not that many bases here on Sandworm. So we'll see if Clem can expand. Ideally, Clem would have liked the game to have ended by now. Like, honestly, like it should have ended by now. It didn't. And now Solar's getting comfortable. Solar taking more expansions, spreading more creep, knocking down all the rooks. Solar, I'll say, looking better here. Is in a better position. Now, ideally, what does Clem want? Clem, he wants Solar to push in. To, like, push into these bases, into these positions, into tank lines, into SimCity. Gets a ghost. Keeping up. But now just being distracted. Clem, he needs time to secure this location, to wall up, throw down his own planetaries, bunkers, depots. We got more CCs on the way. And Solar is collapsing in. Again, this is probably the weakest location here for Clem. Snipes holding up. He gets one, he gets 2 ultras. Nice snipes. Solar, he backs off. At the same time, ultras, they do hit the northern planetary. The full ultra run by does not break through. Oh! Oh my god. Solar is denied. The ultras do not get the expansion. And that wasn't too worth it. Now Solar getting into those corruptors. We don't have the tech for Broodlords yet. So just corruptors to support. Let's move out. Let's catch on the ghost. Takes down a ghost. Corruptors now have arrived. But I'm still turtling up. I'm still a little bit concerned about this position. Like, it's still relatively open compared to the others. So that can be a concern. I'm sure Solar has recognized that. Likewise, Clem, he attempts to expand. Now getting a 6th base. Solar, oh, doesn't quite move in. Yeah, the snipes are brutal. Solar backs off. And he's waiting for his moment. Waiting for that dive. And now committing in. And he will get the CC. Oh, he should be able to. Yeah, a couple more volleys. Snipes swapping off. Nice pick-offs here by Clem. He kites back. We spoke about how vulnerable this location was, but here comes that CC. Clem is walling up. Throwing down more turrets, more sensor towers. Securing this location. This is where Solar's going to have to switch into Broodlord Infestor. And there it is. Greater Spires on the way. Like, this army that Solar has, this ultra-based army is very it's more effective with diving, like diving in and trying to surround an army or trying to break a location. But with how heavily fortified these bases are, it's kind of run out of time. It's run out of its effectiveness. Say that. Solar coming in once again. Going for the ghost. Gets 2. Not bad. Takes down 2 ghosts. Not that many tanks. Yeah, better trade here for Solar. Getting another ghost and another. Yeah, 3, 4, 5 ghosts going down. Coming over. He wants the ghost. He wants them. Oh, they do escape. They do get away. That was, I want to say 5? 4. Okay, it was 4 ghosts going down. It's 4 ghosts for an ultra and a couple of lings. Solar rotating. Bit of an early Broodlord here, but we have the one Broodlord on the way. Let's go. So diving in towards the south side. Bailey's gonna crash into the planetary. Planetary is going to go down. That was an expensive trade though for Solar. Takes down a base for most of his Ling Bane. And it's after fights like that where Solar is vulnerable. And Clem moves out. Yeah, Solar, he can't defend. He cannot defend. The base is going to fall. Broodlord is revealed. Solar catching out the... Oh my god! Catching out the ghosts. And not bad. Catching out some of the ghosts. Power bomb on the medevac. Oh, Solar, he does not have enough. It was an okay trade there for Solar, but he did lose the expansion. Coming in once again. Solar, he does not want to back off. He wants those ghosts. Gets the tank. Settles for a tank. Clem holds. Now, I'm a little bit concerned that these trades have been too inefficient. Solar, he's burning through his bank. The mineral bank, at least. He's burning through it quite quickly. He has, so far, still no Infestors. One Viper. Not many Spellcasters. And again, there's all the bases. Like, every base on the map has been taken in some way, shape, or form. Like, this map is not built for a long game. Not ideal for that sort of thing. Not ideal. Solo diving in. Hey, takes down the tanks. Not bad. 3 tanks go down. Getting another. Diving on the ghosts. But Clem can make a stand. As he can have focus on those ultras. Does snipe them. He will lose the expansion though. He will lose 2. Oh, just the 1. 24 SCVs. 24 SCVs go down. Meanwhile, this one Liberator at 15 drone kills. Sorry, 27 in total. Crazy. 15 drones go down the entire time, just losing every single worker in this mineral line. The one hero Liberator. There's too much freedom. It's too much. So the fight was okay for Solar, but he lost so much throughout that. From that one Lib. Queens, they respond. But the damage has already been done. I just can't believe that one Liberator has 27, or now 28 kills. 29. Finally going to go down. Whew. Solar does defend. Solar still doesn't really have the best upgrades for Broodlords. So still stuck on this more Lingbane ultra heavy composition. And just like we saw previously, his goal here is to try to break through these siege lines and break down these expansions. It's a much more active style. Not easy to make work. Right now, it's on Clem to keep up with these rotations. He has to keep up with the movement here of Solar. Solar splits up his army. He's got 2 forces. Very low on ultras, only 3. Soon to be 4. Clem scans. He sees the main army. Then moving in. And sees only 2 ultras. And down to 1. And down to 0. Ultras go down. Clem moving in. To have 1 ultra coming in to reinforce. Sorry, 2 ultras. Meanwhile, Solar out of position. Top left is going to go down. Snipes the expansion. Rough losses here for Solar. Solar put out instead. Goes to the planetary. Takes down the planetary for an ultra. Expensive loss. Solar maxing out with 56 lings. Let's go. Just massing up ling. We're done with ultras. I say that there's still 3 left. 3 ultras left. Going for the center expansion. The center base. Clem still keeping up, still holding on. Oh, this base is exposed. Solar, he commits. Oh god, snipes are brutal. Solar trying to come in for the surround. Yeah, collapsing on those ghosts. Gets a tank, surrounds one of the Thors. And can he get on top of the ghost here? If he can try to end the game here and now. Committing in. Nice splits here from Clem. Does pull away. And the Bailings, they take down 1, 2, 3, up to 4 ghosts fall, up to 6. Not bad. Takes down 6 ghosts. So he does take down the center expansion. But Clem holds. Clem, he does hold on. Does hold the line. He's fighting for bottom right. He wants that expansion. And Solar, he's going to lose it. Lose that base. How many was it? Sorry. 11 ghosts even. 11 ghosts did fall. But Clem is remaxed. Clem has been more efficient, and Solar, he's running out of a bank. The reality here, he's running out of a bank. Ideally, the Zerg player wants to be up an expansion over the Terran, and right now we're getting up to even bases, which is again, just awful here for the Zerg. Solar in a very rough economic position. He's just running out of steam. He does have a massive amount of Ultras, though. He's still maxed out. He has one good fight in him. He's going for it. Oh god, the snipes. Snipes are brutal. Taking down 1, 2, up to 3 Ultras. There's still 2 left. Down to 1. And down to 0. And that's all that Solar had. GG gets called. Solar, that was his final army. And Clem will take game number 1. GG. GG well played. Against Solar, he ran out of minerals. He had no bank behind it. Likewise, running out of gas. It was so crucial that Solar, if he wanted to keep the game going, to hold on to that bottom right-hand base. As soon as he lost it, Solar, he was on a timer. Solar, he was on a timer. He lost the expansion, and he had no bank behind it. GG. GG well played. Whew, Clem takes a lead. Clem does take a lead. And now we're getting into game number 2. Here we go. Soul's Creeps are looking surprisingly good, considering how much Queen's costs these days. If you missed out on the early game, a lot of it came down to the early defense of Solar. When he was able to break the initial tank push, that's when Solar was able to gain map control. That's also when Solar was able to mass expand as well. Initially, Clem was contained. He was contained on, was it 4 bases? He was contained on 4 bases, and then he slowly took a 5th base, and then slowly took a 6th. So Clem, he was just forced to be more defensive. Unfortunately, Solar, he could not stop any of the expansions of Clem, and could not otherwise break any of those positions either. Again, just really solid defense there by Clem. Despite losing map control, did a great job, not just defending, but every now and then we saw some amazing moments where Clem, he was able to actually catch Solar out of position and counterattack. Whether it was with the Liberator, like the one lib with 27 kills, or the counter drop play on top left and bottom right as well. Clem, he was still able to find those moments and those opportunities. GG. GG well played. With that, that leads us into game number 2. Here we go. Drinking from an invisible bottle. It's cloaked, pipe. It's cloaked. Permanently cloaked. Let's go. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Amygdala, we have our... we have our South Korean Zerg player. We have our red Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the French Terran player, the blue Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. It's that DT juice straight from Shakuras. Let's go. Let us go. Zero calories. Crazy. As we get into game 2, more importantly, we're loading into Amygdala. Amygdala is one of the larger maps in the map pool. If you recall, something that we mentioned about Sandworm is because the map is so small, because the rush distance is so short, it did lead into Solar opening up and playing Roaches. Coming into Amygdala, a much larger map, I would imagine that now there's less incentive to play Roach and more opportunities to play Ling Bane instead. So we're assuming here that we're going to be seeing a bit of a different style out of Solar, and something a little bit more active, especially early on. So we'll keep an eye on Solar. We'll see where he takes us. Likewise, if he does open up Ling Bane, that does open up Ling Bane Hydra play, which we did not really approach in the last game, which can lead into Lurker Tech instead of Ultras. So we'll see what tech path Solar does go down. Meanwhile, Clem opening up Standard. There's also another goal base that Clem could try to take advantage of, true. This base is a little bit more difficult to take as a third. I mean, it straight up is more difficult to take as a third. Often taken as a fourth or a fifth base instead. I did speak on Sandworm, where that goal base is a lot more defendable. Very defendable third. Otherwise, Clemsy comes in with his scouts. Confirms the third expansion. And here comes that Reaper. As Reaper is dipping in. So far the dance has begun, and Solar, he should not lose a drone here. Does morph in the gas geyser. Morphs in the gas, the Lings have arrived, Queen is on the way. And Solar, he is maintaining himself. He did make an extra pair of Lings, so a little bit inefficient here by Solar. But at least he hasn't lost a drone yet, as Reaper does dive into the main. Pokes in, pokes out, Solar trying to cut him off, but alas, there is another clear face. Does pull out. So Clem escapes the main, confirms the third, and is getting his own. It's going to be 3CC211. Let's go. Now, this is often seen on certain maps like Amygdala, maps like Abyssal Reef, and Neon Violet Square. Now, what do all those maps have in common? The attack paths are very limited, or I should say the entrances towards the bases are a lot more limited. Because that Hellions are less valuable, here on Amygdala, we do have two main attack paths. We have the northern path and we have the southern path. And rotating back and forth between clearing up creep here at the southern third base location and the northern locations it takes a long time. It takes so long to rotate and to pivot between them, and it's so difficult for Hellions to really do a good job at denying creep. It's very difficult here. So because that, it's a lot more common to skip Hellion production. We have two Hellions, then bam, into a Rax, into Stim, into a 2-1-1. So very light on Hellions here this time from Clem, going into faster double Medevac Stim timing, into faster Marines. So it's going to be 3CC2-1. Solar does poke in, and the Overlord is going to be hunted down. Now, without scouting, does confirm the 2-1-1. Big scout here from Solar. He sees both Raxes. He knows what's coming. He's aware of that Stim timing. Now, because of that, he knows he can drone. Basically, Solar, he should be skipping Lings early on. Usually, you have to make Lings early to stop a Hellion dive, right? To stop an 8 Hellion diving into a mineral line, which is what we saw in Game 1. Here, because he knows there's no Hellions, there's an extended period where he can get away with purely droning before Stim finishes. So Stim is still a little bit of a ways away. Solar taking up into a lair, still making a couple of drones. Saturating his third, saturating his natural, getting fully saturated. And soon it's going to be time to mass up those Zerglings. And it's going to be up to Solar to keep up with the drop play. Some more creep is spreading. Clem getting his third. And here comes that drop. Here comes that 2-on-1. You can see as the drops are moving out, Lings are on the way. So Solar, he's fully aware of that timing. He knows when he can cut workers and when he has to focus on making up and massing up his Lings. Queens are in position. And Solar, he should be fine here. He should be able to keep up. If he hadn't scattered, it'd be a different story, but he saw everything. So he's fine. So far, so good here for Solar. Massing up his Ling Bane. Baneling speed is on the way. No Evo Chamber yet here from Solar. Going for delayed Evo Chambers. Delayed 1-1. Delayed upgrades. Then he pokes in, pokes out. Third base getting operational. Throwing down 5 more Raxes. That's a lot of Raxes here, getting up to 8. Uh-oh. And Clem from here looks like he's going into an 8 Rax. I'm assuming he won't take his gases. We'll wait a little bit longer, but if he doesn't take his gases at the third base, if he doesn't get any add-ons on those Raxes, then he's going for a 3-base all-in, which is quite trendy here on this map. We spoke earlier about the limited attack paths, and it also goes both ways. On the one hand, it's easier to keep up and to deflect Hellions on this map. That is true. On the other hand, it is more difficult for someone like Solar to surround an all-in. Ideally, when an all-in is coming, you want to go for counterattacks, run-bys, backstabs, and ideally collapse in from multiple angles. Here on Amygdala, you're limited. You're limited in how you can approach this, on how many angles you can attack from. Clem is rallying across the map. Is taking a gas though. Taking one. Meanwhile, Solo getting ready for a backstab, going for a counterattack. Knocking down those rocks. And Solo is going for the third. Trying to force Clem to back up. Clem making 11 Marines at a time. Lings, they do get into the mineral line, not bad. And they bust in, nice hold position micro. They don't get many SCVs though. SCVs do survive. He gets one. Oh god. He gets one SCV. Hellbat's in position, and Clem is not stopping. He's not stopping. He's committing to the all-in and making 12 Marines at a time. You can see no add-ons. No add-ons on the Raxes. This gas is fake. It's there, but there's no mining. So fake gas here from Clem, and he just commits. He just commits in. And either Clem kills Solo or he dies trying. Getting a queen. Does get a queen. Solo once again going for a massive counterattack. Trying to force Clem to back the hell up. Or even to break the third. Expansion goes down. Here comes the Ling Vein. Oh, Clem, he does spot this. Oh, late reaction. Yeah, no reaction here by Clem. He gets surrounded. Marines go down. Clem, he turns everything back around. He's racing back home. And there's no escaping this. These SCVs are gonna fall. Massive pickups. He's trying to escape, trying to weave away. 13 SCV kills. And Solo, look at him just skyrocket ahead here in supply. Remember, Clem was all in, and Clem is defending with the all in. He had to race back. He killed an expansion, but that's all he got. The longer this goes on, the better it's gonna be for Solar. Clem still has a terrifying army, don't get me wrong, but now he can't really sustain himself as much or as easily. Down to 55 workers. Solo going for another run by. Clem stepping in. Can Solo defend? Can he hold on? Yeah, he's gonna evacuate. Yeah, he knows. He cannot save the expansion. Solo going for the gold, which means Clem is gonna go for another rotation. And Solar, he's in trouble here. Gets supply blocked. Solar is taking towards lurkers, and lurkers would be ideal. Remember, it's pure marine tank. Like, there's no finesse here. There's no tech, there's no gases. It's purely marine tank for Clem. And lurkers can defend against this if Solar can get there. Another run by. Another base is going to go down. Solar is being starved out. He needs a fourth expansion. And Clem should just keep rotating to deny the base. Deny the expansions over and over again. Drop into the natural. Center base is going down. This I'm concerned by. Solar, did he cancel his Lurker 10? He did. He canceled his Lurker 10. It was almost done, by the way. Now going and switching into Ultras instead. A bit of a late reaction there from Solar, but he's going for it. Likewise, Clem, he rotates. Solar, he's got a good amount of Ling Bane. Fighting on creep. There's still so many Marines. There's so much fire. That's a lot of man with gun. And again, Clem, he wants that expansion. He wants to break that fourth. Once again, he's done it 3 times so far. Once again, stimming in. Tanks are sieged. It's still an awkward angle for Solar. Once again, as we mentioned on this map, he can't surround. Like, he can't flank this army. He can't surround. Not easily, I should say. It's all coming from one angle, which makes it easier for Clem. The Vipers have arrived. Will help. The Vipers move forward. Lightning Cloud on the tanks. Solar, he commits in. Ds and connections. We get some Ds and connections. Tanks are going down. And Solar, he holds. Whew. Solar, he does hold on. Shuts down the tanks. Still 3 tanks left. Clem, he doesn't retreat. Clem, he just keeps going. Getting 3-3. Landing his fourth. Oh, and Solar, this defense is still so clutch. It's still so close. Can he get the tank? Barely gets two. Takes down two tanks. Ultras have arrived. Whew. And again, these Ultras, they were delayed, but they're here. The Ultras have arrived here. Kindness Waiting is done. Solar, he commits. And with the help of these Ultras, he should hold. Because just like whether it's against Lurkers or Ultras, Mass Marine does nothing. Mass Marine tickles Ultras. As long as they're well upgraded. And remember, it's only Marine tank just because Clem has been all in the entire time. No tech, no ghosts, no marauders, just now starts up with Concussive Shell. But it's a late tech transition here from Clem. And Solar, he could keep going, but he's being distracted. 3-4 smack up by these medevacs. Solar, he hasn't seen the fourth expansion. And Marauder production has begun for Clem. Clem trying to stabilize. Solar coming in. Okay, he's going for it. He's going for it here. And I believe Solar, he should be able to break the expansion. We can see Clem, he's just going for drop play, trying to distract. Planetary is going to go down. GG gets called. Whew, and Solar, he survives the all-in. We're going to the ace match. GG. We are going to the ace match. We're going to game 3. Again, Clem, he just committed here into the ARAX. As we mentioned, as we even saw in this game, it can be more difficult to deal with ARAXs on this map. But Solar, he was able to knock down those rocks and go for these big run-bys and counterattacks, and it was worth it in the end. He was able to catch reinforcements. More importantly, he was able to cripple the economy and to slow Clem down. I will say that Solar's tech into Hive and tech into Ultras was a little bit shaky. That is true. It was a bit of a shaky transition, but he got there. Did get there in the end. Whew. Still very tense though. Still very tense, still very close, and now we're going all the way to the ace match. Let's go. Now, I don't expect Clem to ARAX 2 games in a row. I don't expect him to go for the same build. I feel like we should be seeing something different this time. I mean, we'll see what the map does kind of favor. As it looks like game 3 is going to be on Killer's Mile. Now, Killer's Mile is one of the newer maps. We haven't seen too much ZVT on this map. We've seen a lot of TVP, a lot of Terran versus Protoss, Terran versus Zerg, less so. So I'm curious to see how this map plays out. Yeah, very curious here. The rush distance by ground is shorter. It's a smaller map. It's a smaller map compared to Amygdala. So, shorter rush distance by ground. And we'll see how assertive Clem plans on being. Let's go. So we're getting into that ace match. Looks like our players need a moment though. All good. Do need a moment. When it comes to Killer's Mile, the third base does seem quite exposed. It's a little bit more of an exposed third expansion. The fourth base, I mean, you expand towards your opponent on Killer's Mile, so it does make the rush distance even shorter by ground. That's typically why I would say that it does favor aggression. We've seen a lot of Terran players enjoy Killer's Mile quite a bit. I can see a world where Clem would ARAX on this map, true. I can see that happening, but we'll see. I don't expect it 2 games in a row. Don't expect it 2 games in a row as we are loading in. Looks like our players are ready. And we have our ace match. Let's go. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Killer's Mile, we have the French Terran player, the Red Terran representing Team Liquid, being forced into the ace match. We'll see if we can bring it back and bring it home. It is Clem. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. Solar, he fights back, he puts point on the board. He has forced the ace match. And we'll see how Clem will approach this, or will approach game 3. We'll see. For the most part, I feel like Clem has been dictating the pace of the game. Game 1, we saw Clem rush into the gold expansion and be hyper-aggressive with that initial tank push into a longer macro game, of course. Meanwhile, Game 2, we had Clem going for the 8 racks, going for the 3 base all-in. Here in Game 3, we'll see what Clem goes for this time. Meanwhile, welcome 1-0 to Killer's Mile. Killer's Mile does have a very narrow ramp coming into the natural. Very narrow, so very easy to wall off and to completely shut down. Very defendable. Meanwhile, the third base is more open. Very wide open third base, whether it's an open choke point here or even a secondary entrance on the right-hand side, a much wider ramp. Likewise, you can get onto the same point of elevation here from the center of the map. And as we mentioned before, you do expand out into the center towards your opponents with this fourth base, or here on the right-hand side as well. So we'll see how our players do expand and what we settle into. On the smaller map, I wouldn't be surprised if Solar does open up Roach. A lot of players are still trying to feel out the new maps and try to figure out like what is good, what isn't, what is small, what is large, when it comes to the maps themselves. As opposed to a Amygdala, I can see Roach play here for Solar. We'll see. We'll see if he does play it safe. As we have 6 Lings on the way once again, so an extra pair of Lings for Solar. Then pokes in. He pokes in. Doesn't quite get the drone. Forcing Solar back. Does force him back. Third CC before Starport on the way for Clem, so economic opener. And he has gone for a 3cc every single game so far. So same opener, same start. Does he go for the starport? Does he go for another Rex? We'll see. And there it is. Starport is on the way. So 3cc Banshee out of Clem, going into Hellions, bringing it back to what we saw in game 1. And again, on this map, there are just a lot more open attack paths, a lot more avenues here for the Hellions, so it is easier to rotate and to pivot between the bases, more so than Amygdala. Clem does pull out, does pull away. Solar, he saves his third. It does take the triangular third location, or the triangular third base. There's that add-on swap. Clem doesn't have to go into Cloak. He could just open up Banshee and preserve his gas, or he can just commit. We'll see what he goes for. And there we go. Cloak is on the way. Cloak is on the way for Clem. Clem, he attempts to dive into the main base, is going to be deflected, is denied. And I feel like the next big step here is, oh, as the Reaper gets out, no shot. He gets out. He gets away. On 1 HP. The 1 HP Reaper. Let's go. Soul, I'm curious if he does go for an early Roach Warren. That's what I'm keeping my eye open for. For now, droning up. Is going to be Lair first. So Lair opener out of Solar. And we'll see if it's for a Bailey Nest or that Roach Warren instead. And there it is roaches. If you recall, we did say how because the map is smaller, there was a higher chance that it was going to be roaches here on Killer's Mile. And there it is. Typically, roach-based openers are kind of dictated by the size of the map itself. That's why we didn't see them on Amygdala. So far, so good. This also signifies more defensive play by Solar. I should emphasize that as well. He's going to be more defensive. Yes, he could try to go for an all-in from here and go for 1-1 range upgrades into 2-2 into like a maxed out army on 3 bases. But Solar, he isn't really one to go for that kind of style and go for those all-ins. If we were casting Dark, then sure. Or even Shin, but not Solar. Meanwhile, one queen goes down. Nice pickup. He gets one, going for the other. There's a transfuse. Hellions, they get into the mineral line. Solar pulls away. Another queen goes down. Uh-oh. He gets two, now going for a third. Overseer has arrived, but getting another queen. Ay, ay, ay. And this is dangerous. This is dangerous. This is concerning. Solo bleeding out 3 queens. And it's not like Solo's going to fall over here and now, but it does mean that the follow-up push here from Clem is going to be that much stronger. Oh, this? Okay. Solo going for an earlier infestation pit. Banshees, they try to hit the natural. Now, if you recall, I'm winding it back to game 1. If you were here for game 1, you'll know what this means. Lingbane Roach Ravager into Ultra. It's what we saw in game 1. It's the go-to style if you do open Roach, is to go into melee upgrades into Ultras. And it looks like the same build. Looks like the same build here from Solar. And we'll see if he can get there. Meanwhile, Clem is taking gases at second factory. Last game, we did have a 3-base all-in. Here, standard game, taking his 3rd base and getting ready for a 4th CC. So Clem is building up towards a longer game. Now moving out at 7 minutes. The goal would typically be for Clem to break down the 4th expansion, but because of the Roach Ravager opener, there's plenty to defend. Plenty of Roach Ravager. Clem, he sees the army, he backs off. Sees the morphing in Ravagers, he backs off. Pulls away. And we have a game. We have a game, we have a back and forth. The initial aggression is deflected. Hive is halfway done for Solar. Nice catchy on some of these roaches. Getting 2 roaches so far and clearing up a lot of the creep. And most of the tumors do go down. Now, just like the last game, just to emphasize once again, the downside for the Hive tech here is that the upgrades are going to be a little bit further behind from the tech. Assuming that it's Ultras, we're going to be stuck on 1-1 Ultras a little bit longer, and 2-2 is going to be a little bit later. The upgrades won't be as ideal. And there's that Ultra Cavern. As I did mention, just like game 1. Just like game 1. Solar, he's getting there. Now, there is a window. There's a window in time here where Solar, remember, he rushed into Hive. He rushed into Adrenal, into the Ultra Cavern. There's a lot of resources invested into tech, which means his army is that much smaller. His army is small. Clem, he sims in. The Bailey's in already. Oh, Bailey's not ready in time. Massive pickup. Clem, he's pushing in. And Solar's in trouble. Solar, he's in a lot of trouble here without Bailey's. He cannot defend. Ah, no shot. I mean, the map is small, we did mention, and Clem, he's snowballing out of control. He sims in. Before we can even think about those Ultras, the game may just be over. The game may just be over here and now. There are 18 Bailings morphing in. They just began. And that's it. That's everything. GG gets called. Solar, he was just a little bit too greedy. He was not ready for the push, and Clem will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played, Clem. He will take the series. Again, Solar just was not quite ready for it. It was so unfortunate that Solar, he was morphing in those Banelings on the front lines. Solar, if you recall, the Banelings were denied. That was the moment that Clem just won the game. He won the game. He caught the Banelings. Banelings did not finish morphing in. And without Banelings, how do you stop Marines? You don't. You don't stop them. You do not stop them. They snowball out of control. They break through. GG. GG, well played. Clem, he will take it, and we have our grand finals. It's going to be a best of 5 between Clem and MaxPax. Let's go.